Our hands are so important in yoga, but also in cooking, in our work on the computer, in driving, and so many activities that we do. And in order to get flexibility in the hands, and in order to create a little bit more strength, whether it be for yoga or other activities that you're involved in, you may want to do some hand exercises to ensure more flexibility and strength in the hands. We'll begin seated. You can sit on a chair if you wish, or sit on the floor or on your mat. Start by spreading your fingers and drawing them into a fist, and spreading them and drawing them into a fist. Just spread and draw them into a fist. To work on the action in the hands, imagine that you're clawing the earth and tap your fingertips very firmly toward one another as if you're clapping your hands on fingertips. And don't be afraid to give a little bit more power to your clapping so that you can create this sensation right at the fingertips. Now spread your fingers and right at the webbing between the fingers, spread the fingers and press pretty firmly as you clap your hands through the webbing of the hands. Keep on moving the hands quite vigorously in this movement. And now clap your hands with the backs of the hands. So as you just clap your hands in this backward fashion, you just stimulate the fullness of the hand there. Now, as if you're just tapping each fingertip, do that with each finger and see if you can do both hands at the same time. If not, just do one at a time. You're tapping as if creating a little O shape with each finger that you do. Just a little tap, and maybe you can go a little bit faster. It's a bit of a mind game as well, working the action of the fingertips very quickly. Now interlace your fingers, reach your interlaced fingers out, and now pull it in and reach out, palms facing out. Pull in, reach out, pull in, and reach out, and pull in. One of the areas that people tell me in plank position, even in downward facing dog and cobra pose, even in all fours when we do cat-cow, the wrist creases tend to hurt. So see if you can just encircle the wrist with your thumb and middle finger and just create a little bit of heat in the wrist, just so that you feel a little spaciousness with that heat. Now draw the opposite direction as well. And I'm just circling around the wrist here with one hand. Now do the other hand. So go in one direction. You can spread your fingers and the still hand as the active hand circles around the wrist. And now go in the opposite direction. Just a few more times. All right. Now take your thumb and your middle finger, and just above the bony area here, right at the wrist, there are two little divots on the thumb side and on the baby finger side. So press into those areas, lift your fingers up and take them down. Lift up and draw down. Just gives you a little bit more space in this area. And a few more cycles, lifting the fingers up and down, and up and down. Do that with the opposite hand. Again, find the bone right at the wrist crease, and then just forward of that, you'll find this little divot on either side of your hand as you spread the fingers, Lift the fingers up and draw down as you squeeze in at those divots, just to give you a little bit more space, a little bit more freedom in the wrists. 3 more times. Spread the fingers as you lift up and close down, and lift up and close down. Now take your thumbs to the inside and then take the fingers to wrap around the thumb. Sometimes the thumbs get a little bit cranky when you do this, but open up your hands so fully so that you can feel the webbing between the fingers. Now close down, thumb first, fingers wrap around. Spread your fingers, thumb draws in, fingers wrap around. 3 more times. Spread your fingers, thumb draws in, fingers wrap around. Spread your fingers, thumb draws in, fingers wrap around. Spread, thumb in, and fingers wrap around. Now let's apply this in load-bearing action. So we'll come to all fours position in a way that's slightly different than you may have done in the past. Rather than planting the palms down first, spread your fingers, come to your fingertips, press your fingertips down, and then pull in toward your knees to press the base of the thumb down. So you've got your hands pressing down with the knuckles slightly lifting up, the fingertips pressing down. Let's do that one more time so that we get the action. When you come to all fours position, fingertips down first, then pull back before pressing the base of the fingers down and all the way to that fleshy part of your thumb. You've got this strong action of all fours position. Another position that's so effective working the hands is in cobra. So come to your belly, place your fingertips on the mat. So your knuckles and the palms are lifted. You're just pressing the fingertips. Draw your elbows in and lift up. So fingertips are bearing weight here. You're working the hands nicely. Exhale, you soften. Just inhale, rise up, lift yourself up. Exhale and soften. And one more time, inhale, hug your elbows in, using the power of the fingertips, but also emphasizing strength in your back as you lift up. Exhale, come on down. Make your way back to a seated position. In the seated position, place your hands to your waistline. Draw your elbows back. I'll give you that from another view. With your hands at your waist, your palms open, draw your elbows in toward one another, and you get just a little bit more opening there in the wrists. You hug the elbows in as you press the backs of the hands in toward the back. And one more time, you draw the elbows in toward each other and release. These are just a few things that we can do to prepare us for longer holds in downward facing dog, or just working in our daily activities. If we can get the fingers to be a little bit more flexible and add strength, that will help us so much in our daily activities. Thanks for joining me in the practice. Namaste.